let's see. This morning, good morning, everybody. This morning is Monday, February 13th. This is the City of Syracuse Board of Assessment Review, and we know that Mike Vavanese is out of town today and tomorrow, so we'll take a roll call and take it from there.
Carl Masterpole.
Joe Saya.
Sue Straub.
Okay, we've got a quorum. So with that, we've got our first property here, 715 Hamilton Street. Okay, come on up. You can both come up if you like.
Hi.
Good morning. How
Do we
are you?
stand so? I don't know how
You
to
can
look.
sit
Okay.
down. Make yourself comfortable, no problem. Very informal.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is swear you in, read some information into the record, then I'll turn it over to you. The city will say a few things. This is a not-for-profit
Right, it's a church property.
church property. Okay, so if you could both raise your right hands, state your name for the record.
Emily Vanette.
Joe Vanette.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yep.
Okay, so let me just read it in. I've got 715 Hamilton Street. I've got the application, and looks like a letter here, so we'll take a peek at that. So I know this is a not-for-profit. Is this 100% proposed exemption?
Yeah, but I'm going to, so we didn't receive the exemption. There's two properties, right? Hamilton Street and Schuyler Street.
Correct.
So you didn't file on Schuyler.
So we're actually trying to sell that property.
Actually, we did file on it, and then somebody told me that because it's an empty lot, we can't get taxed. Whoever I talked to said it doesn't matter. It doesn't be tax exempt or something like that.
Okay.
But we're actually trying to sell it anyways, so
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure, so I was a little, I just wanted to make sure you guys, okay.
yeah.
So, yes, it's, so this was, I guess the question is in the use of the property. So you have church services there?
Well, it's more, the property itself is made more for ministers, and it's so that we don't have to charge them rent, or because we don't have a lot of money to pay people. So we give them the opportunity to have free housing.
Okay, so, but isn't somebody in there permanently, like the minister's there all the time, or it's just whenever somebody's in town, or?
We could use it like that if there's somebody, I guess, minister. We're looking for a youth pastor now. And so,
How's it currently being used?
right now we have somebody living there right now. She helps out with our women's ministry. She has a small group ministry that meets there. And she works across town over at New Hope Ministries. So it's more a temporary housing for her right now, and she's planning on moving.
So, but then when we have a youth pastor, that minister will move into that property.
Right, and how long has she been living there?
Not even a year.
Maybe a year.
Maybe a
She
year.
was there on January 1st.
Yes.
Okay, so,
And she doesn't pay anything? You just-
No, we cover everything.
Okay.
and she, how often does she minister, if you will?
Well, she does it on the weekly. Is it a
She
weekly
does the
Tuesday?
women's ministry once a week, and
Right.
then she does other women's events periodically throughout for the church. And she, as well as working at New Hope, which is one of the local people that we support financially.
Is there a certain percentage of time? No. It's just
So
different.
those ministries are at the house?
Yeah.
The New Hope. Well, she works at New
Yeah, she
Hope.
works there. So that, but we
But
support
when she
them.
does the women's thing, it's at this house, or it's?
No, she does the women's ministry at the church. She does a small group at her house.
Oh, you forgot to mention that she does a small group at the house.
I put a picture of it in our thing, of her meeting with a bunch of young adults.
Okay.
So it's down there at the bottom.
Oh, this is, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
we really didn't know what you guys would need.
Yeah.
So like, we'll just give you everything that we can think of.
Yeah.
We also use the garage of that house for storage of snow blowers and lawnmowers. Because we don't have a storage space at the church for those things,
Garage space.
like garage space. So they're constantly being stored over there, and we'll work on them over there.
Where's the church?
It's 2 houses down from the house.
So it's
In a house
705
also?
Hamilton.
So, yes, it's right on the corner of Avery Ave and Hamilton Street, right across from the Blarney Stone.
Yeah, it's an actual church.
Okay. Does that suffice for, or are you leaving it up to
Yeah,
us?
well, yes. Yes.
I mean,
just wasn't
ultimately, you're
sure,
leaving it
and I
up to us,
didn't wanna-
but do you have enough information?
Yes.
Okay.
If there is something that we can use for
Yeah,
next year,
yeah.
we would totally appreciate that.
Because we honestly don't really, we don't know what you guys need
Yeah.
from us.
Is
The
this a,
bottom line is, she doesn't pay, you're covering the expenses, there is a ministry being operated out of that property.
Right, and there usually always
Always
is one.
is.
We had a minister that was there for, I think, 12 years before her. And he was an older guy, but he couldn't really host a lot of people, but he would have people
The
periodically.
senior stuff there.
Yeah,
too,
he had older
there.
folks come over.
and
So-
and you're looking for something like that currently?
Yeah, we're looking for a youth pastor, and she is very youthful. So,
Well, yeah, but I mean, we will have somebody else in there eventually, hopefully more like as a permanent person, but again, they won't be paying rent.
yeah, that's the joy of the parsonage. Is like I live in a parsonage on the property too, and if I had to pay rent, I'd have to have like 2 jobs. So, so my house is actually connected to the church house, to the church building, and then that house is just two houses down.
Okay. All right, very good. I think we have enough information. The city has submitted some stuff also.
That's their stuff. That is theirs.
Yeah, we submitted that.
Oh, okay.
They submitted
Okay, I'm sorry. So we've got your stuff here as far as proof of use.
picture and, yes.
Okay.
So we have the board sign it. Like I said, we didn't really know what you guys needed from us. So.
Yeah, we just want to be thorough so that it's easy to understand what we're using the property for.
Okay, well, that sounds good. We usually draw blood, but I think, I think you're okay because you've submitted this stuff, so
Right.
we'll pass on that. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in. We'll take everything into consideration, and we will send you a notice first week of April.
Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, let us. And if there's anything that you think that we would need
I think
to give
that-
you guys,
I think, yeah,
just please let us know.
Yeah, because what we'll do for next year is when we file this, we can make sure
We
that
also are fairly new to this position. We've only been working this position for
2 years.
2 years.
Next year's form will be quite simpler. It says basically, is there a change?
Yeah, that's what-
It's just this year, everyone received the same.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
Everybody
This
Really?
was a
Not just you.
revamp.
All right.
well, not a problem.
Yes.
All right. So because we're looking like, what is?
Yeah.
I think that's,
790
yeah, and that's like a, what, every 5-year
Yeah,
thing,
5
or?
yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
It's
because
because we weren't sure what was happening.
What's going on?
What did we do wrong?
Yeah, 'cause
So-
we're so new. We're like, we did something wrong.
Yeah, no, that's, so next year, for the next 4 years, it'll be more of the same as you experienced last year.
All right. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
guys.
Is there like a newer church directly across from the party stop?
Actually, no. This church.
It's been in existence
When did
since
it open?
1920.
Yeah.
And then it was built in 1952. The minister who started the church came in from Chicago. They had the church, I think it was on the north side, and then they realized that they wanted to be closer to Salve because it was primarily Italian. So they actually, all of the notes, if you look way back from 1952, all of the financial statements were all in Italian.
Oh, okay, well, this house looks like, or I'm sorry, this church looks like it was built in the 50s.
Yep, 1952.
Yeah.
One of the original members whose father was the what do you call it? The mason for the bricks. He's still alive, and he's 96 years old. And he's told us about the building of the church and how he helped his father bring bricks over.
The minister used to work out of a gym in Stockholm. He was a nice guy.
Who?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure the minister of that church.
Oh yeah.
You got a Planet Fitness, and I was talking about it.
Oh, Ron.
Oh, yeah.
Pastor Ron, yep.
Yep.
I took his
Young
place.
guy.
Yeah, he was there right before we came in, so.
Okay.
He did my wife's and I wedding 15 years ago.
Small world, right?
So it's our property. We love the church. I grew up on Schuyler Street, a block away from the church. I went to Porter, Fraser, Fowler, and then I went off to college, and I've been gone for 20 years, and I've come back.
Oh, wow.
So the pandemic really hurt us, and so like we're doing CPR on it.
Yes, bring it back. That's good. Well, glad to have you back, of course, and again, we'll send a notice out first week of April.
Sure, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Yes.
The next three are alternate science.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Of course.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Hello.
Okay. So Terra Science, I believe. Just want to look. Okay, so you have 3 properties.
Yes.
I'll swear you in, and
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a minute. Do you want to discuss these in any particular order?
They're all the same, so we can just discuss all together if you want to.
Okay, and you want me to read them all in
Yeah,
together?
yes, that's fine.
All right, so very good. Okay, so if you could raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Fahmy Damkasi?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay, so for our purposes, the board, this is going to be properties 2, 3, and 4. We'll start off in the order that they are on our sheet. I'm going to read them all in, and then I'll turn it over to you. So we've got 1001. These are all fully exemption issues. 1001.
They're looking for fully, right now it's currently partial.
Okay, they're looking for fully, okay. I'll put that down. Okay, 1001 Park Avenue. Let's see, it says this property will be leased to Science Academy of New York Charter Schools at below market. There's no assessment information on the application, and this is a fully exempt request.
You want, that's there's the assessment information.
Okay.
You just want that.
Yeah, I'll take that. What is it currently
It is a school.
partially exempt?
Right on that.
It's on this here.
So the full assessment is $1 million.
98,
Yeah.
and what's taxable is the 400,000,
Yes, I think the exemption is 600 and something.
$98, 698,000. Okay, all right, so I'm just gonna, for our purposes, I think it'd be important to write this down. $1,098,000. $1,098,000 is the current assessed value. Land value is $173,700. I'm going to put down 698,000 is the current exemption. And you're looking for a full exemption. Okay? That will take care of the read-in of that. Let me go to the next property and do the same thing. This is 301 Valley Drive. And Ann, if I could have that same information, that'd be great. This is, will be leased to Science Academy of New York Charter Schools at below market. Same situation as the prior.
Currently, there's no exemption on it.
Okay, currently there's no exemption, which I'll confirm here, but
At 301 Valley? Yeah, it's,
okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't-
it's another parcel.
oh, okay.
Oh, it's another partial. Okay. So I'll read those numbers so we have it. All right, so current tentative assessment, $1,903,000. With a land value of $156,200. So this is currently a partial exemption. What's exempt is $1,210,300, and you're looking for a full exemption. Okay. And then the last property is 4837 South Salina Street. Okay, this property here will be leased to the Science Academy of New York Charter Schools at below market. This is currently a partial exemption as well. We have a current tentative assessment of $1,200,000 with a land value of $200,500. We have currently a partial exemption of $825,000. Partial, okay. And it appears to be the same explanation for all three properties. So let me turn it over to you, and then the city will make some comments as well.
I mean, all the properties are former Catholic schools, and they have been used as a charter public schools too. So there's no other tenants, there's no other usage of the building other than the school usage. And we are also a nonprofit. We provide a lot of scholarships back to the students as well as teachers. And then we do science fairs in the area. That's how we use the money that we generate from the income that we make. So, and then we provide scholarships to the Syracuse City schools, as well as we do also science fair for the Syracuse City School District too.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, so, based on that, and why
So
was
it's
it
kind of like
partially?
back when Mr. Clifford and our previous corp council came to, because it's kind of a lease back, so it's in this name, but then they pay rent like to themselves, almost a type of thing. So I guess the question is what the market rent, because you're not supposed to, it's supposed to cover expenses. And I'm thinking that, I guess we're gonna have to maybe,
So we are charging per square foot, I can tell you, like $6 to $8, depending on which school it is and how much renovation we made. It's like usually, if you look at any other like rental in the area, it's $12 to $15 you can go. We charge $6 to $8. So, I mean, it's almost 50% less than what you can actually find any building. Because, I mean, at some point, schools actually look for other buildings too as they're expanding. I mean, all the buildings they find, it is like they're charging $15 or more dollars per square foot. So as we buy these buildings, like 2 of these, they were actually abandoned buildings. We renovated them from scratch, new roof, new HVAC system, flooring is removed, put a new flooring, new steel. I mean, like some of them are like really like not used for 3-4 years. So,
Which is good.
so yeah, and it's good for the neighborhood and all of that. So, and then and that's, I mean, that's why there's usually a big cost at the beginning, obviously, and then we're charging, still charging like, I mean, I think the most we charge is $8 because that is the building that we put a lot of money into it.
So, and as far as the city's concerned, what was your,
Well, I think I'd like to go over with the current commissioner, the square footages and the costs and the expenditures. And
because basically the rent is supposed to cover what the expenses are, and not anymore. Okay, so I guess it's an analysis of that. I don't know that information has been submitted.
I have some information, I have a copy of the leases, and the plot plans of the property, so, I just.
Yeah, because all we have is the
Kind of
articles of
go over one by one.
incorporation or,
If we need maybe to walk through them again, would it be a good idea if we walk through when school's not, maybe, if we need to go through them again? Could we, because I know we've gone through, I believe, Sacred Heart and down on Slime Street. I don't know if we've gone through Valley Drive.
I mean,
So,
you're welcome anytime. I mean, these are public schools, so
okay.
as long as you make a schedule,
Yeah,
we can make you.
I'm not gonna make a recommendation, I just would like to, go over the financials
Yep.
with the commissioner and.
I mean, we are nonprofit, so that all the things that we actually, any proceed left over from the rent, it goes back to the school as a scholarship, or we do like a science fairs. With no income, I can't do any of those. We do science fair for the whole city school district. So, I mean, otherwise we don't exist. I mean, if you just look at it, how much they make and then how much they put into the building itself.
well,
Then-
that's a good point.
I mean, like,
don't know
and why
if,
do I have a nonprofit then? I mean,
Yeah, no, that's a point well taken. I would have to defer to the city and
Yeah.
corporation council as far as the legality of that
Oh,
or appropriateness.
I mean, we can provide our tax returns too, if you guys want to see. That actually shows a bigger picture, which is our annual income versus how much we're expending.
That would be
Program-
helpful.
Yeah.
Program,
That's-
I mean, like our, what they usually look at it is what's our operational budget, so what they call management. So that is actually less than 10%. So usually for nonprofits, that's 15-16%. So we are really, in terms of management, how many staff members we have bare minimum, just to do a lot of programmings
Sure.
for the schools and so on and so forth, so.
Okay.
So should I contact you or this, or
Yeah,
Kara?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all
So
right.
she can get you all the tax
Okay.
returns and all of
Okay.
that, so,
That would be helpful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Appreciate you
definitely.
offering that.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
so I'll get a hold of Karen. We'll do some once we get those, I think probably give us even a better, explanation of where it goes and, like you said, if it's going back into the school.
I mean, not just the school itself, but the Syracuse School District. And so.
Okay.
no, that's excellent.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And then, ultimately, we'll send 3 separate notices out first week of April.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming in. Okay.
Okay.
10 minutes till the next one.
I don't have anybody here right now.
Okay.
And Jordan's gonna.
All right, so that was, 715 Hamilton was 1, Park Ave, Valley, Salina, 2, 3, and 4. Looks like we've got, it appears from the sheet here that all of these are exemption issues, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, up at the top there, it says nonprofit day.
Oh, okay, and I was looking over here.
Yeah.
Okay,
I did the same thing. That's why I pointed it out to you, because I didn't see it for a while
yeah.
either.
Expenditures, I'm like, sure. You sure about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure that's a train you want to ride, my man? One of my swimmers on Saturday, I was like trying to manage like 100 children. And one of my swimmers, I'm like, Mr. Ken, I think he goes, and I'm like, is this really the time? Is this really the time? I've been here since 6:15. Are you sure this is the time that you should be like just correcting me on how to, like, I know who you are.
Oh, he was correcting his name?
Yeah, it's like, as someone whose last name is McDaniel, I've heard every variation of, I've heard McDaniel, McDaniels, McDaniels, every variation. So like I'm particularly cognizant of it, and I speak German. But like the difference between the German König and the Dutch König is like the vowel sound. And I'm like,
What did he say it was?
König.
König, and you said Kenneth?
König. I pronounced it German, he pronounced it Dutch. And I'm like, we're saying the same thing, Mr. King.
You speak fluent German?
Oh. Nein,
you.
meine Deutsche ist nicht so gut.
Everybody's now.
Sprechen Sie langsamer bitte?
Yes.
My German's,
Correct.
my German is, I can manage my way around the conversation in German as long as you speak slowly. And it's my favorite phrase to use in German is sprechen Sie langsamer bitte, which means please speak slowly, and then you follow it up with meine Deutsche is nicht sehr gut, which is my German's not very good.
I took it in Cal.
Yeah, I picked it up. I picked it up in law school because my
George Washington was in his class.
No, don't
I knew you were gonna
insult
say.
it. It was
I knew you were
Moses.
gonna say something nasty.
Moses.
What was that?
No, I haven't
I
gotten
knew you were
to-
gonna say
I
something
haven't gotten to
nasty.
nasty yet.
It's only Monday. I'm his whipping
Gotta
post.
give me till Tuesday or Wednesday.
My partner took Spanish. I took Spanish in middle school. None of it sunk in. I can like tell, like if I'm listening to Spanish, I can tell you what they're saying. But if you ask me for directions in Spanish, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say this in English. But she took Spanish in high school. She picked up on Spanish far better than I ever did. I learned Russian in college, and when I was in law school, we were like, oh well, let's learn It was just like one of those things that like, oh, we want to learn a language together. And so her family's German and my family's German, so we were like, let's learn German. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? And so now I'm reasonably proficient in German. But yeah, I just make sure to tell everyone like, sprechen Sie langsamer bitte.
Yes.
Meine Deutsche ist nicht so gut.
I always said my one had said.
Yeah, it's my favorite phrase in German is just German is very good.
I know.
Even though it like is
every
good, it's
time.
just one of those like please speak slowly. And I did a week in Switzerland when I was in school for a class, and I did my best because I try to be a good tourist. I did my best to try to every time I bought something, tried to speak in German because I was in Zurich. I was in the German-speaking part of Switzerland, not the French-speaking part of Switzerland. And we don't talk about the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland.
West Matson. Have a seat. Right over here.
Right here, man.
How are you? Good. Thanks for coming in this morning. You're here for 372 West Matson Ave.
Yes.
Okay. And what I'm going to do is swear you in, and then I'm going to read some information into the record, and then I'll ask you some questions. Okay. So if you would raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Maria Lewis.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. So this is 372 West Matson Ave. That's the address. I've got an application in here.
Yes.
And is this for a full exemption? Okay, this is for a full exemption request. And just to read some numbers in here, we have a current tentative assessed value of $125,000 with a land value of $25,000. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $150,000, which would be an equatable assessed value of $96,750. And the request is for a full exemption. So was this exempt before? No, this is a brand new.
Not last year.
Not last year, it was 2 years ago. And was there a miss in application last year?
Last year, right, they didn't file. I believe their pastor had passed away. The reason for denial this year is that for the last year, there was no water usage. So I think Mr. Lewis is here, according to the pastor, Young, or his son, saying that they're using it now. So I guess that's the question, is if it's being used.
Okay, so what's the situation on it?
For the year of from 21 to 22, we're down there using, the COVID set in, so the pastor didn't have the members to come in, but the trustees were down there, and the people were coming in and bringing their tithes and offering, but only the bathroom and the water was run very minimum, because it was just like about 6 of us down there as trustees waiting on members. So you wouldn't run, if you used the bathroom like a regular business, it would constantly run the
Right,
meter.
was the water turned off, did
No,
you say?
it wasn't
Oh,
off.
no, there was just
It just wasn't
usage.
used. The
So you were-
usage
you're
wasn't
getting
making the
charged a
meter
minimal
run like
bill.
it's supposed to. That's
Okay.
what it was.
Okay, and so you're saying there was no interruption in usage, it was just down because of COVID?
Right, because of the lack of members coming in and out for service because of the COVID.
Okay, understood. So now what's happening?
We're back in there.
Yeah.
So by Reb being sick, we didn't know about
Oh, I see, okay,
being replied.
okay, all right, very good, and, is there anything that you need to submit to
yeah.
us?
No, just the Roscoe that we have been meeting down there.
Okay, yeah, we'll take that.
And
And you don't need anything in this file?
no,
Okay. Did you want to take a peek at this? Now?
I mean, I spoke to
and
Mr. Young a few times. I
Okay,
guess the question is it being used?
right, and
and that was because of the lack of water usage and,
of the
Yeah, so
sewer.
we had no water for 2 years.
Right.
And then the next reading is until this month, so.
Right.
okay,
And they're slowly coming back in because we, like we said, because of the COVID. And now that they, like, with the New York scene, that they're clear, but like the hospitals and stuff like Cross and Upstate and St. Joe's, they're keeping their masks on. So when people come into the church, it's up to the congregation if they want to continue wearing a mask. Like here, some we do and some we don't. So
okay, okay,
it really was lack of the people coming in to have service, and the water wasn't being run. Well, flush.
Okay. Ann, anything?
It appears to be they're using it, so.
Okay. Okay, so the city, it sounds like, has enough information to make a decision on that, for us to make a decision on that. And we'll send you out a notice first week of April.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got a quick question for you.
Thank you.
want, but if you
Oh,
want to
no.
sit down, that's okay too. Yeah,
I'm sure you'd be more
Much
comfortable sitting.
friendlier.
absolutely, very informal here. Other than we do, when you're done, Michelle has to draw some blood. Other than that, we're very
For both of us or
informal.
just
Lie
Carol?
detector.
No, it's just, I think we're gonna go after her.
Okay, there you go.
Anyway,
She gets a cookie after this.
that's right, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a
Now you're
special.
talking.
Yes. Okay, so, I'm gonna swear you in, and then I'll read some information in. Turn it over to you, we'll go to the city, and that'll be that. This is an exemption issue. So if you both could raise your right hands, state your name for the record.
Carolyn Brown.
Brenda Coringa.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So this is 717 Erie Boulevard West.
Correct.
This is a one-story, 8,885 square foot metal frame building, metal walls as well, office warehouse for nonprofit human services organization, Peace Incorporated. Okay, so as far as numbers are concerned, we've got a current tentative assessment of $735,000 with a land value of $174,000. Petitioner believes the fair market value for market value purposes is $800,000. Now, is this a request for a full exemption?
Yes.
Full exemption?
Yep.
Okay,
As a nonprofit.
yes. And was this exempt before, or what was the situation on this?
We purchased the property on January 10th is when we finalized the paperwork
Of this year?
of this year.
2023, okay. So we're looking retro to January 1st.
Correct.
Oh, this is going forward to, this is all for July 1st. It wouldn't be-
Right, yes, but I'm saying as far as ownership and
Right.
that kind of thing. Okay, and, okay, so this is a new acquisition for you.
Yes.
Okay, so what's it gonna be? What's the situation?
So the Peace Incorporated is the agency. We are the community action agency for Onondaga County. We are tax exempt. Out of this building, our Department of Energy and Housing Services program will run. So they go into homes, do an energy audit, and are able to, based on that assessment, add energy efficient windows, appliances, do caulking and weatherization for income eligible people. And that program will be run out of that building.
Great,
Yeah.
nice program.
This was like a timing type thing. I actually didn't get the deed till we looked it up this morning. So it says NA on your application, like when did you buy it, NA? So we needed to know that you actually were the owner, you sold Foreman, and you know what I mean? You sold Foreman, you bought this one, and then there was the debacle at the county clerk's office.
Yeah.
So I have a copy of the purchase agreement was signed back in August. So I'm assuming with the intent to close, but because of the county clerk's office going down for 3 weeks, so on and so forth, so we don't have a problem. I guess the bottom line is we don't have a problem. I just wanted to make sure they owned it.
We
checked,
didn't at the
yeah.
time the initial paperwork was
Right,
filled
right.
out, so
that's
yeah.
why, and then we weren't sure what was going on with Foreman, so we didn't think we could occupy the two properties, but one is sold, one is bought, everything should be fine.
And even though it was after, for our own
Right,
purposes,
because of the clerk, the problems and the issues, because they went down, I think, Christmas week, they didn't come back up till 15th of January, so.
okay, but, so you're saying their closing was back last year?
Well, the agreement to purchase was, but by the time everything, I think the intent, I'm assuming the intent was to close by the end of the year.
Okay,
And we're just going with.
but it was
clerk's office.
finalized on January 10th? Okay, so for our purposes, it's okay to revert back to 2022?
Yeah, we're not gonna have a problem with that.
Okay. Fair enough. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
That
We're
was
gonna go
easy.
back to the office and tell them how hard we had to work here.
Well, you're gonna have to at least show them your finger where you got pricked. Thanks for coming
Great,
in.
thank you.
very much. Good to see each other.
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, tell your colleagues you don't ever want to go back there again. No more acquisitions. This was the last one.
There you go.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Well, now you got a half-hour break. 'Cause,
Yes.
That hillside isn't on Main.
Oh, okay.
No,
Does
it
that
was a
mean we need
joke.
to read it in?
It was
everybody?
100%. Nope. Have a good day.
I don't even think it's on there. Oh. It was scheduled enough times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got taken off.
40's the next one.
Okay. So 10:40.
Everybody can go take a half an hour nap.
10:40 is the next.
Yeah, just stop telling people that they just came out to get me.
Have a seat.
Yes. Good morning, how are you?
Good, sir.
Good.
How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Fred Miller is my name.
Okay,
Sid Gilmore, I'm the treasurer for the Syracuse Center for Peace and Social Justice, okay?
okay, so I'll swear you in 1 second here. You are in fact here for 2013 East Genesee Street.
Yes, sir.
Right, okay, very good, very good. This is number 7
So
on our
if you want
list for
to
the
put,
board's purposes.
from 11 to 11:30,
And this
if
is
you just want to print your name next to the.
exemption issue. Okay, if you could both raise your right hands, state your name for the record.
Frederick Miller.
Sid Gilmore.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me just read some information. In 2013
Thank you so
East
much.
Genesee Street, this is a not-for-profit commercial building.
It's a former synagogue that was converted to commercial spaces, yes.
Okay, and so we have just for numbers purposes, a current tentative assessment of $100,000. I don't think we have to be concerned with land value at this point. No estimation of fair market value from the petitioners. And then this is a fully exempt request?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, and we've got a bunch of information that was submitted. Just want to thumb through real quick here. Okay. So the name of the organization is?
The Syracuse Center for Peace and Social Justice.
Okay. And was this a recent purchase or no, this was?
What happened was we made it partially taxable.
You made it partially taxable? Okay, so it was fully exempt. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, we're petitioning to see if we could possibly return it to non-taxable. I did include a letter from our accountant stating we do have rental income, but it doesn't meet the total expenses. This is the letterhead that you see. I think it's the third or fourth page down right there in your packet that shows the rental income and then the expenses after that, which show us losing $25,000, something like that a year that we make up from donations from people. The synagogue was closed about 15 years ago. The members of the synagogue, some of them decided that they were going to attribute this to spaces, to different groups, which we have 8 tenants, 7, I'm sorry. Some of the different political organizations that wanted space so that they can better organize. Everything from the Migrant Laborers Coalition, the Peace Council, the Afghan community people that are the immigrants directly from Afghanistan, Black Lives Matter, Public Citizen. There's AGREE, which is the Alliance for the Green Economy, and there's an immigration group that helps people that are already here that are going through the immigration process. Each of these groups are renting from us at below market rents, and the argument is that we're giving them space that they couldn't find otherwise to advocate for the particular groups that they're working for, to try and help those segments of our community.
Okay, couple questions.
Certainly.
Do we have a copy of that?
I thought you did, but I made extra copies. That's the rents themselves.
Okay,
It's a one-page rent roll, right?
Right.
Several copies.
Right.
okay, but it doesn't have all those organizations?
It does.
on
Listed across the top are the
Yeah,
initials
okay,
for
gotcha,
them.
Gotcha.
You can have copies of that if everyone needs one or whatever, but that lists the,
I'll pass them out. Okay, so I think I'm not saying this is my issue,
okay, that's fine. No, I would rather have you,
but I think and maybe where the city's coming from is, are all these entities tax exempt?
yes.
All but one, all but the Peace Council.
And is that your issue?
The issue is the rent itself. It's, over $3,000 a month. So we would like to probably take a look at the expenditures, but, $3,000 a month is a decent amount of rent. So the property's currently assessed at $100,000. We made it taxable for $30,000, which as far as tax liability,
Thank you.
would be approximately maybe $1,200 a year, depending on the tax rates, just so we know.
And is that based on this Peace Incorporated, or not incorporated, but is that the issue, because they're not for
No,
profit?
it's just the rent period.
Oh, okay.
The whole building was, we had no idea that, $3,000 a month is a lot. And they're competing with obviously other properties that are paying taxes. So, that's part of our, they're not paying any taxes, and they're getting rent next to somebody down the street that's paying their taxes, getting, the same type of rent. So that's why I would like to see their expenditures.
Right, yeah, and that's my issue, for lack of a better word, as well. Okay, so do we have those expenditures?
I thought we did. We brought an additional copy. Is that something?
I just didn't, I haven't looked at,
That's a breakdown of what the expenditures were over the year. It's basically a balance sheet that does include the rental income and includes expenses like the elevator maintenance, which it's a 3-story building, and there's people with handicap needs that needed the elevator that we just installed. None of us take a salary, with the exception of the building manager, who we pay a part-time hourly rate. The board is all volunteer. We're volunteer. We're not taking any money. We're asking for donations to cover the difference between the rents and the actual cost to us.
Okay. I think that you've submitted what the city's looking for review.
Okay.
And we will do that as well. Is there anything else that you think you might need, Ann?
no, this should be.
You have a clean copy.
Yeah. There's, we do have a website that lists the organizations, lists the different things that they do for the different groups in the city and so on. And it lists also the board members and the fact that we're not taking a salary and that we're all volunteer and that type of thing. And that the only person that we are paying any income to is the building manager, who works part-time and makes sure the building is clean, so something that breaks is fixed, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. Do you have, are you saying that she has an extra copy of what you're looking at? All right, you want me to put that in the file then?
I haven't, you said you submitted to the board or just?
I believe we submitted that with our appeal, yes.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, so I'll-
it's probably in
in the
here.
paper.
But you can, I'll get it from the board and just make a note that I need a copy.
And this will give a year-end 22 and 21 look.
Because that's what you were looking for, is 2 years, so it gives 2 years' worth of financial statements.
Okay, good.
And the letter from our accountant is in there as well, listing what happened this year and so on and so forth on their letterhead.
Got it. Yeah, I was just looking for the, all right, so Ann, if you've got to get the
Yeah,
expense information, that's in there. Okay, that sounds good. So, we will take everything that you submitted, and then, we will send you a notice first week of April, but it sounds like, not giving you a decision, but it sounds
Right.
like we have everything that we need
Right.
to make that decision.
No, we understand your concern, because we're paying for services and we're doing that type of thing too. We're paying our water bill and paying the sewer bill and all that kind of thing, which would appropriately be a cost of the building and that type of thing. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate your,
We appreciate what you're doing also.
well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's very nice.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I had a meeting there in summer 2018 when I was working in immigration law. I feel like I held a training there.
Well, yeah, sounds like it.
It's possible.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Some of these, I don't know if you would like to put this on the record, some of them are non-filing and some of them are denials, so not everything is a denial. The next two groups are just non-filing.
So this is Atlantic.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah, the one's right down there.
okay, thank you, yes. And, so this, you just said that this, group is,
They didn't file.
They
so
didn't
now they're
file,
going to
so-
file
in
and say that
present.
they're- Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. And that's, okay, I see that. If you guys wanna come up, have a seat.
Here are applications in there.
You're
Because I
right.
haven't looked at any files.
I'm seeing them. Yep. How are you? Have a seat. Good. So before I swear you in, you've got several properties. Are they all the same situation?
Yes, they're all rain gardens, essentially vacant lots we bought to do stormwater management.
Okay. And so if I read them all in together, basically the same
It'd be the same.
argument, if you will. Okay, all right, that sounds good. Let me do that then. If you both would raise your right hands, state your name for the record.
Dylan Seaver.
Cassidy McMahon.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do, and therefore I'm assuming no particular order to read these in? Okay, so I'll just take them as they, as far as the board's concerned, I'll make all these properties number 8. And I will read them all in, and we will go from there. And this is a fully exempt, request. Okay. So, first one, 124 Heffler Street. This is a residential lot, vacant land. Current tentative assessment $4,000 with a land value of $4,000. And the petitioner believes the fair market value is $755. Again, is that probably what you paid for it?
Closer to 600.
Okay. Maybe that was with recording fees or what have you, but, all right, and you're looking for a full exemption on that?
Yes.
Okay, 125 Heffler Street, residential vacant land lot, current tentative assessment of $5,000, with a land value of $5,000. This is an exemption request. estimate of fair market value is $755. 305 Harriman Street and Hartson Street, a vacant lot, current tentative assessment of $4,000, land value of $4,000. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $755, and once again, this is a request for a full exemption. And we have 318-20 Cadwell Street. This is a vacant lot as well. Current tentative assessment $4,000, with a land value of $4,000. Once again, estimate of fair market value $755. Then we have lastly 322 Cadwell Street, vacant land lot, current tentative assessment $4,000, with a land value of $4,000, and the estimate of fair market value $755. Just a little expansion on that. So what was that? Did you divide the 6 lots into whatever the total cost was and got $755?
Yeah, that's, I think that's basically what's outlined here.
Okay. And I will do this. And this was a non-filing, and so you took off the exemption. Who'd you buy them from?
Land Bank back in 2018. It's part of an agreement we had with the city to manage stormwater in a FEMA floodplain. And yeah, we just forgot to file this year. I'm a new executive director, I've only been working there for 7 months. It's our one and only employee, so just trying to get a hang of things, and yeah, I think this one kind of just slipped by me.
Is 658, excuse me, is that the right mailing address, just so I'm clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
And any
So it's still every lot is being used as for storm?
Yeah, stormwater management.
what? So just because I'm curious, what takes place? All right, so you buy a vacant piece of land, and then what do you do to turn it into this stormwater conservation, so to speak?
So there's a number of things. First and foremost, we either buy land or get permission from landowner to do said improvements on that land. We do percolation tests to see how well water will drain in the soil there. If there's not good percolation, then there's no real need for a rain garden. It would flood, essentially. If there's good percolation, then we go ahead with design work and then construction. And essentially the way a rain garden is designed is kind of like, it's not too different from like a swale, where it's just like a bowl, collects rainwater and allows it to percolate at a slower rate so that the combined sewer system isn't overflowed or isn't too much pressure, essentially.
Really?
Yeah, and there's a number of, there's some underground catch basins we use in turn with like 6-inch, typically 6-inch kind of like sewer drainage to collect more water underground too. So it's not just the vegetation you see on the surface, it's a number of catch basins usually that help distribute the water and let it flow into the sewer system at a slower rate.
Well, roughly for these, so for Heffler Street, what would it cost from start to finish to do this
construction,
Yeah.
percolation.
Yeah. Forget about the cost of the lot, because we've got
Yeah.
that. I'm just curious.
That would cost, so, printing out some invoices for lots. In total, we have, for 50% design, is about $91,000. At completion of construction, this is for these specific lots. It was around $180,000 of renovations.
For all 6 lots, if
For
there's
all
6
6.
here, or
Yes.
Oh, total of 6, okay.
Yeah, for all 6. This is one contractor we use to do all of the work.
I have 5
Any
for some
ideas,
reason.
Joe?
I have a lot that,
I can see your mind.
I have a lot that I bought 10 years ago from the county auction, and I've been paying my nice taxes every year. And 2 lots, actually, that, anyway.
You say 6, we only have 5.
Yeah, I only have
addresses.
5.
Are we missing
Are
one?
we missing?
Sorry, no, there is only,
I'm the
there is
one
only
that said
5.
6 initially.
Technically, there's only 4, but 2 lots are right next to each other. We combine, it's just one rain garden.
I see, okay.
So it's just 5, so.
Okay, it's just 5 files. I think I was including mine in there just for hopeful purposes. Okay, so we're good there. Interesting, very interesting, and it's not cheap, like anything else.
Yeah.
But I guess my last question is that there is obviously enough of a benefit to spend this kind of money.
Yeah, we specialize mostly in rain gardens. We do agroforestry as well, provide fresh food in food deserts in Syracuse, but this is our kind of bread and butter, and we spend about as much as we make.
Yeah.
So it's a grind to kind of get projects and get work done, get paid, and then start looking for new.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, that's definitely appreciative of what you do, certainly. Ann, anything you, so this was just, again, just a non-filing type thing. Okay, so I think we haven't,
My word to advice is when you get them, fill them out. Because they went out in
Yeah.
August, so,
Yeah.
you know.
We did get them. I hadn't seen them. Our president of the board had them on his desk and did not show them to me, but we did get
You
one
will
for
now.
658. Yeah, we will now. And I saw all of them. I was trying to find the forms online. It was like they didn't send it to us. But after doing some rummaging, I found them, and then it's just kind of.
so would they go to your attention going forward?
Yes, to Dylan Seaver. Previously, I think they were made out to Sam Sage, and he travels quite a bit.
Okay.
We do some work, some similar work like this in South America. So he has a house down there, but he also heads up things down there, and so he won't see mail that crosses his desk for months at a time.
Sure. Okay, so we'll send it
Yeah,
to your
so it's
attention.
Dylan, is it D?
Dylkan.
Okay.
Seaver, Seaver.
Okay. All right, I'll put your name on those notices. On, so that helps. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I think we're set, and we'll send 5 separate notices out first week of April. But I think that we're in good shape at this point.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in. Next time, you spoke too much today. You got to tone it down a little bit.
She's actually the brain.
Rhetoric was a little aggressive, but no, thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you guys.
Okay, have a good day.
You too, thank you.
Did upstate and like transparent?
No.
Not as of yet. That might be the only one, right?
No, All Saints Church.
Them and All Saints.
Another Oak
Oh, yeah,
Street.
I see that.
I wonder if we could get a hold of all states and tell them to come in. Oh, you know who it is? Students.
In fairness to them,
They're not due yet, are they?
yeah, in fairness to them, their appointment's not till 11:30.
Right, but I was just wondering if, no, to call her and say if she wants to come early.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, good.
Maybe I'll have,
Just to let her know
Yeah,
it's
I mean-
available.
you guys can, you know, why not? Would you mind, Michelle?
Yeah, is it
She's
okay
an
if I do it
attorney.
from my cell phone?
Yeah. She's an attorney.
Is it the
So I'm
530-8995?
It appears that it's just,
Okay. What's,
upstate New York transplant and All Saints.
Looks like that's all who's left.
Okay,
At least on my book, it's.
okay.
I mean, if she comes 15 minutes, great.
Yeah. Okay, I will deliver these back to Michelle.
hi Cindy, is Jamie available?
Carl's playing Candy Crush. He thought I would
Yes,
notice.
this is Michelle Hopkins. I am the secretary for the Syracuse City of Assessment
no, my
Review
wife
Board.
just texted me won $60 on a board
Thank
last
you.
night. That's nice. It's more than I spent on boards, so I'm ahead for the
yourself comfortable. Thanks for coming in. I think it was before your time, so thank you for that.
We just made us move a little faster this morning.
No problem, no problem. So I'm going to swear you in. I'm going to read some information to the record, get some feedback from you, and then turn it over to the city. So if you could both raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Frederick D. Daly.
Jamie Sutphin.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll read this in. It's 1124 Oak Street. This is this a single-family residence as far as setup is concerned? Okay. And so as far as numbers are concerned, we've got a current tentative assessed value of $61,200 with a land value of $9,800. We're looking for a full exemption on this. Is that what it is?
Correct.
Okay. And I just want to look at a couple things here if I could. The application is in here. And then we have a letter which we will review. Okay. Signed by the trustees. And, okay, what can you tell us about this situation?
Why don't I start? I'll just kind of give the background. So, Father Tom Keefe was a priest in the Diocese of Syracuse, and he met with Father Daly before he died, and he wanted this house on Oak Street to go to the church purposes of supporting immigrant community. And we have a very large immigrant population at All Saints Church. It's over on Lancaster in the city, and it has a very large Congolese in particular population of immigrants, and it's taken on quite, I'll let Father tell you more about that, taken on quite a life of its own as far as the mission of this particular parish, which is a small, not wealthy parish, but very steeped in their outreach, and this is one of them. So the Reverend Keefe, very elderly, said that he wanted this to go to that purpose, to serve the immigrant community of the church, but he didn't want to bequest it specifically to the church. It was bequeathed to Father Daly, and then we had to go through a whole rigmarole over at the diocese, and you'll see the correspondence and the resolutions from the bishop and the vicar. I'm a trustee of the church. I'm also a lawyer. I learned a lot about Catholic diocese and their whole structure and all of this. So we went through all that process, and Father had to go to the bishop and talk about this and why it could become owned by the church, because they don't just let property come into the church, obviously. And as a lawyer, I'm like, you can't just let property come to the church. It's not a great idea. So they did do that, and the bequest was completed, and within the same day, I think we filed the deed from Father Fred to the parish. So that's the legal background that I wanted you to know about. And then specifically, this house then became part of the mission to support the immigrant community and teach them how to be good stewards in America. And Father, I'll let you take over on that.
Sure,
part.
and certainly appreciate the opportunity to appeal. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
so this was, and I'm sorry to interrupt, this was denied? Okay.
Yes. So as we've shared, we're very involved. We have 2 full-time people working with the refugee community in our parish, and we do everything from finding housing to help them fill out legal papers, to get to the medical appointments, working very closely with Catholic Charities. The particular family that now lives in 1124 Oak, we sponsored through Catholic Charities, met them at the airport, and about three or 4 years ago, moved into rental housing on the north side, very poor housing. Father Tony Keefe's vision was, I want to give you the house so that it can help refugees. So we envision as we go down the line, just being open to the Spirit on how this house might help. But the family that we sponsored, there's an elderly parents, two children, young adults, and a niece. The parents are in poor health. Both of the boys are now working, and the niece is in high school. So how we look at this house, we charge them a small rent, $700 a month. And the purpose of that is, again, helping them to be responsible as they move along. 100% of that money goes right into the 1124 Oak Street property. Example, one of the elderly parents has cancer, fell in the bathtub shower, didn't get hurt, but now last week we're putting in a walk-in shower so that they can be safe. So any of the funds that are coming in go right back into the house. This family eventually, may move from there. We'll discern then, what's the best. Most of these folks live on the north side, as you know. We're on the southeast side. So our original thought would be, maybe the house could be a community center, for the population, rather than have them for choir practice going over to the south side, southeast side. But right now, we're, supporting this family on a number of different levels.
And I just wanted to add in that certainly the family, they have elderly parents. There's no intent for them to leave, but the idea is that it's going to be a rolling situation where there's going to be families that are going to come in, and it was very enlightening to me. And when I went, to the open house, and the neighbors come over and they're like, "Here's how you take care of your lawn. Here's where you put out your trash." So it's, it's almost like an instructive home. It was in extremely poor condition, run down. I think Father Keith had lived there in his ending years after he was done being a priest, and really nothing had been done in the house. So that's why the funds are used to continue to update the home. The person, Justin, who is in the property, is the choir director of the Congolese choir. So he does have people who come and to the house and do some rehearsals. We were mindful, Father, they're saying, well, let's have some events there, but I don't want to get into getting into the code issues of having it be a gathering place. So I told them, no, they can't do that right now.
So who's this, Justin?
Justin would be one of the sons of the family.
Okay.
He works at Upstate Medical Center in the technology area and goes to OCC. And so we could envision there may be another family that if these folks were to leave, but there's certainly not going to happen soon, that may not pay any, but as he started working and the brothers started working, just, to teach them, responsibility. Also in the neighborhood, we invited everyone on the block and the blocks adjoining, shared with them the project and had an open house. And so we have a very good relationship with the neighbors. They're very positive about it. The house now is in much better shape than it. Also, sort of a nice thing historically, Father Tony Keefe's parents were immigrants from Ireland and Germany and bought this house as a young married couple. And now Father Keefe thought how wonderful that the house can go now to help other immigrants in a new age.
Father Fred made the front page of the Catholic Sun about this mission. I should have brought that along. You could probably look at it online. And it was quite an interesting, being a trustee of kind of a progressive Catholic church, was quite an undertaking to convince the bishop that this was something that would be a good mission of the church. So that's particularly why I wanted to, take the opportunity to appeal so you could understand, what it was. And on paper, I was not personally surprised that it would have been a rejection on paper, that it needed some further explanation.
Okay. And when did you take possession of this property?
It was last February.
February of last
Right.
year.
And then they moved in July, I think.
July.
Ordered in April. And, okay, so, but we have, the occupants are paying rent
Yes,
at that 700. Who pays the utilities?
they paid the
They
utilities.
pay, so it's 700 plus utilities, they pay for all of that, and that, you're thinking, is somewhat nominal, although that's pretty good rent, I think.
It is a 3-bedroom house, so I think that it's substantially below market value, but I'll let you all figure that
Sure.
out for
Yep.
that area and that kind of a home.
Yep.
And there are owner occupants on that street, so they're very happy about having it sort of owned by the church as well.
And to be clear too, the church itself, the parish, All Saints Parish, none of the money that is coming in from the rent is going to the parish, other than the fund for 1124 for the upkeep and whatever.
Okay, so you've got that separate.
Yes.
Do we have tax returns to that effect? Didn't file yet, probably, for last year?
We can, I can certainly send you, I don't know, I'm not in charge of the tax return, so I'm not sure what we send, but we do have our,
To show
our,
separation.
yes, we have our ledger and our budget that we have at Finance Committee that would show that, and I
Okay.
can certainly get that
Yep, that
for you,
would be.
the
that would be-
unaudited ledger sheet.
Right, yep, that would be, I'd like to see some separation based on what you're saying. So that would be very good. When do you think you could get that in?
Very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, our
Maybe by
other
Friday?
trustee, absolutely. I
Okay.
actually just saw it when we were at the Finance Committee, so, right, we just looked at
Yeah.
that number. 'Cause
And our accountant could help us with
Yes,
that.
yep,
too.
Rita
Yeah.
Rita has it,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, nope, that sounds good. And anything you want to add?
Yes, so it was denied, again, I don't know what the mission statement of the church is. I mean, if every church decides.
Well, that's my problem.
To do this, nobody's going to be paying taxes. They're gonna be, kind of in competition with, I know you said there's no occupants, on the street, but again, yes, this is probably a little bit below market rent, but I'd like to see those expenditures, if, like I said.
But yeah,
if it
are
was
we
the-
setting
If
precedents?
father was living there, that would be different. This is the choir director with the, I understand the purpose. It's just, I don't believe that's what the New York State real property tax law was built around, is that if every church or any mission decides to buy houses or was left houses and take it off the tax rolls to help somebody, I guess I'll just make that.
Yeah, that was where I was going also. That was my initial angst, if you will.
I get that, and if I can just respond
Yeah.
to that. We do have an additional layer of this, which is the Roman Catholic Diocese of Syracuse, that also very carefully and pretty voraciously looked at this and about whether this could be a mission of the church. And I get that. So I think there's an additional layer. I'm not saying the Catholics are better than anyone else, but I'm just saying there is that additional layer, and the bishop and the vicar and everyone had to sign off on this, or the church never could have accepted the property. And if you look at the resolution, it specifically talked about that and accepting that mission on that much higher level than you might ordinarily see. And I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what it was, and I'm a lawyer and I talk too much anyway, so.
Okay, no,
I
that's,
was just going to say, if a lot of different congregations took a house, I would be thrilled, paying taxes or not paying taxes, because the needs are there. But unfortunately, I don't see the trend at the present moment, you know.
And also, just, this is what I was going to ask you, that the Congolese community at All Saints is how many strong?
Over 200, yeah.
So it's a continual mission of the church and any immigrants, actually. And it's pretty fun if you want to come to the 11:30 Mass where they do their Congolese chanting, right? That's like literally my favorite Mass.
African choir, and but it gives you great hope for our country, you know, like these folks, they're so, they're here like, just learning the language, boom, boom, boom. We've gotten, working with Catholic Charities too, and Interfaith Works, they want to get to work right away, you know, the young ones get to school, you know, their drive to succeed is I was in Utica for many, many years, and there in our parish we had the Vietnamese population, and city of Utica is actually the hood, what was the hood around our St. Francis Church, is now owned by former refugees that within a year or two, you know, they will buy a house that's fallen down, all get together, fix it up, and so it's great hope. It's too bad in a sense that more people don't realize what's happening, you know, that this is, for the city of Syracuse, such a blessing that we have Catholic Charities and Interfaith Works to have these people come, because they're the hell they've gone through. These young adults that are living in this house, their whole lives until they arrived at Hancock Field when we met them at 1 a.m, were in refugee camps. They never lived their 21 years inside a refugee camp, you know. And here they are going to school and you know, good values. And we sort of say in the parish that they're missionaries to us now, of, you know, showing us, you know, great values, and they're so proud to be American. You know, there's more flags around their little apartments, and
yeah, and that is great, and I know where you're coming from there. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Only that this is really sort of an unusual project.
He's a priest, he talks more than I do.
It's an unusual project, you know, most parishes wouldn't, but the opportunity.
I was against it. I'm a lawyer. I was against it.
And,
I could think of 55 reasons why we shouldn't do it.
So I think, you know, certainly we're learning from the process, and, you know, I really respect your decisions, and if we're not exempt, then we're helping the city of Syracuse with taxes, so whatever will be.
Okay.
You just get the expenditures, you know.
Yeah, that would be great.
Get it together right
if you
away.
could, by Friday.
Who should I send it to?
I can give you my email address.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be fine, Michelle, and then once we get that, we'll take a look at it, and then we'll send out a notice first week of April.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. Thank you for everything that you do, Father.
Thank you, Andy.
What you do too.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
That's right.
Didn't even need a coat.
I know.
The only thing I forgot today was my sunglasses, and I literally have no idea where they are.
Supposed to be 60 today?
Where are they?
Wednesday, right, yeah, nice, yeah. Hey, we'll take it, is right.
Saw 5 robins this morning in our tree out. They look very healthy.
Beautiful. That's a good sign.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll bring it down to you in just 1 second.
Sure, I can. Yeah, okay, because we're past that time. Yeah, 10:50, almost an hour, 50 minutes, okay. That'll be number 10 on our list,
Syracuse.gov.
for those of you
If
keeping
you just
score.
send that over to me. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a great day.
511-19
Thank you.
Washington Street, 2 block. Okay. And I think that will have taken care of everybody. Okay. Okay, I'll trade you. Trade. Thank you, thank you.
they got a letter, right? Upstate Transplant?
Okay. So let me go ahead and get into this one here. The address is 511-519 East Washington Street. This is a not-for-profit. It's number 10 on our list. This entity is upstate New York. Is it transplant?
Yeah.
Okay. And looks like they might be out of the Rochester area.
Yeah, this was a non-filing also, we filed late.
Okay, so let me, was this exempt last year? And, okay, so just a non-filing. Let me get the, okay, so this is a block building, approximately 7,600 square feet. Current tentative assessment of $348,000 with a land value of $130,000. Petitioner does not put anything down for estimated fair market value. This is a full exemption request, and the petitioner did not file, I'm going to say in time. The file is very thick, so then they have since filed.
Yeah, again, they filed late. We wanted them to come in, but they do eye transplants there. I don't have a problem with it. I wish they would look here, but all their paperwork is in order. It's okay with me.
Okay, so that's going to be a yes per Ann, but we'll take a look at the information as well. And then, again, to reiterate, it would have been good if they could have come in. But there is a letter here. Okay, so there's a letter here claiming that they had some personnel issues and what have you, and that's why the late filing. And so we'll read through the information, and then we will send out a notice the first week of April to this petitioner. Okay, I think that'll complete it for today. And so if I can have a motion to adjourn the meeting for today.
So moved.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion carries, meeting adjourned.